This is just AMZN for Friday, March 19th, 2021. And I'm zoomed out quite a bit here because I think we started and ended the week about the same. We started the week right about here, and we ended the week really close. But not only that, the way that Monday worked out, and then I'm going to say Thursday into Friday. So, like from this price, selling off into this level, selling off into this level, put in a double bottom to end the week, double bottom to start the week, kind of did a retest of this level. So we got a little lower here than we did, didn't quite get down as far. But then put in a bit of a triangle here. And I've already got the triangle drawn in here. And then we pushed higher, retest, and came back up. And in this case, we kind of made the triangle and went sideways. We didn't really retest as much. There's a little bit of a retest here. But just a lot of similarities to start in the week. Obviously, the same price range where we did a really good job holding this level to start the week, and then we did not do so well holding that level to end Thursday and then start Friday. If we look over at the daily, so it was a really nice hammer here. We're looking for this to bounce, a couple hammers in a row, and then this candle closed below. We're right back up at this same level on from Monday. So on a weekly, actually, I didn't even switch over to get the weekly ready. So let's see. Yeah, that's a mess. So yeah, really nice high wave candle, and the open and the close are less than $1 apart, less than 50 cents apart. 30.74.57 and 30.74.96. So 39 cents apart. 39 cent to end the week. It's just funny. Like all of the thing, everything we did to move up and down so much. I mean, we've had weeks like that in this range. Here's another one where we made a little bit of a difference in price. This one, I don't remember the last time we had a candle on a weekly quite that flat, where you can't even see, a body in between the open and close. Maybe this one. Gosh, that was a long time ago. The open and close on this one was at 97 cents. Just looking for one that's like flat. This one. Okay, so this was 29. So this was 29 cents. Okay, so it's been a while. And what do we do after we put in a really flat, weekly candle? We went sideways for a few more weeks for like 2 months before we ultimately broke out, just to come back and go lower. So this was way before, this was a while ago. So a long time ago. All right. So yeah, that was way down there. And we're up here putting in a really flat candle in the week. So anyway, yeah, that's just really interesting. So we were below this level, below this kind of resistance level, thought we were going to get through it, and then we're back down here. But we're really right where we started the week. So, and we got a squeeze for me here too in the daily. So let's jump into the 5 and see what you could have done on the 5 minute. Let me zoom back in on Friday itself on the 5 minute. There we go. So we ended the day way up here, and look at that. So this line is at 30.77.31, and the high is 30.77.29. How cool is that? 2 cents away. Called it, right? No, I didn't know I was going to get back up there. But we rode the 21. Dipped below a little bit here, really came back into it here. Pretty much it was buy the hammer, buy hammer here, buy hammer here, buy hammer here off of this level. That was a great place to be buying. Actually, no. If you look at the 30.50 call, that put in a low at 7, but you could have bought at like 7.50, could have bought at 8, 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 8, 8. So it looks to me like you could have bought 8 by 7 anywhere in here, and on a Friday looking for 8 hours. So 8 plus 8 is 16. It made it up to 16, a little bit more than 16. So should have gotten filled here. If not, then that was a really rough hold to come right back down, almost get stepped out, goes back up, doesn't get to 16 again, comes back down, almost gets stopped out, and then goes up to 16 finally. So, but these were each times you could have been buying. So let's say you were looking like this one would have been really hard to buy at 8 because it didn't hold a level of 8 before. So this would have been the first time it's like, oh, it's holding 8. Great. Maybe you get in on this candle. Maybe not. If you did, then that's 8 to 16. That's an 8-hour trade. So you get in at 8. You're looking to get in at 8, and you got to stop down at 7. And so you have a limit buy of 8. Stop at 7, target at 16, and should have filled here. Sorry, should have filled to get in here, should have been targeted and limit sell here, and that would have been 8R. So maybe this was your first one. So 8R here. This one you would have been holding all this, and then so that would have been another 8R. So let's say somehow somebody got in here at 8. I don't think anybody did. Well, maybe somebody did, but so let's skip this one. So you're in here at 8, out at 16, in here at 8, out over here at 16, and then it doesn't come down to 8 again. But still, that's a really good trade. If you can get 2 of these, if you get 1 of these, it's a great day. If you get 2 of them, it's fantastic. And then kind of the same time to be looking to buy this is after this is already rolled over. So this on the put came into retesting the open low, started to roll over, and all the while this is losing value. So again, it's a 30-50 put and call we're looking at. As this is just losing value going down, the call is actually going sideways at first and then starts to get going, and then it retests here, and this looks like it retests this low of this hammer, and then you could have been buying, well, you would have had to buy that exact candle at this price, around 8, or even in this case 750, but not 7. 7 was too low, except for right there, which would have been really hard to get filled on that at 7. Or if you miss it, you go out a little bit more. So go out to 30.75. Let's see what that was doing. So this was a little flatter. Could have been buying 5x4. Nope, did not get moving at all. That is really rough. The only time it moved was right at the end of the day. 30.75 was not one to be looking at. So maybe 30.60 if 30.75 was so bad. 30.60. So this was making slightly lower lows. I don't like when they're making lower lows like this, but you could have been looking at whole numbers. So buy at, let's see, the low here is, so buy at 6 here. Look for 8, that's 14. Buy a little less at 5 here. Would have filled at 5. Yep, would have filled here at 5. Plus 8 is 13. Didn't get up to 13. Pulls back to 5 again. Comes all the way down to 4. Could have been buying at 4 over here. Yeah, you would have, even at 30.60, you wouldn't have had an 8R trade anywhere through here. This would have been the only 8R trade on a Friday. So really, we're right back at the 30.50. Yeah, that one is the one that held the value really well. It just went sideways all day. Sorry, it went sideways with the low. So it wasn't making lower lows. It was just making, relative lows. It really held the low value through here. Other than, right out the gate where it, the first hour was making a little bit lower lows, then it made a steady low through here. And then the highs were bouncing around a bit. So this is where you can also scalp too. But when you're getting back up to this level, if 16 doesn't fill, it's like get out. It's, made it back up to resistance, let it pull back to the 21. Oh, it pulled back further than the 21, doesn't quite touch this line. So this would have been a hard place to be buying unless you're looking at buying a certain level on the call. This is where you would have wanted to sell here because of this high, and here, and anywhere through here, just to get out. So you probably could have gotten in here and just scalped it. You just gotten out for less than 8R because it's running into resistance. And then here again, it's got another pullback. You would have had been quick here. I don't know, other than just having an order set up to say, okay, I have one already on a couple of these. Let me see if I can get the same trade. Buy 8x7, probably filled on this candle. You're still in on this candle barely, and then it moves up a bit. But basically buying at 8 here, looking at the 5 minute of the stock, there's no real reason to buy this level when it's pulling through. It had already pulled through the 21 here. It could easily pull through the 21 and keep going down. You don't have any reason to buy right here off of the 21 on the 5 minute. But over here on the 30-50 call, you do have a reason to buy. And then on the, let's see, on the put, that is still a resistance, but it doesn't even get back up there. It gets up there here, but it doesn't retest, going up by a few R's. It doesn't go against you enough on the put to say, oh yeah, that was enough of a pullback. It was just flat or down. It was still lower highs here. Let's see, from here to here. What was this high? 950? No, it made a slightly higher high from 911 to 950. So it did actually go up, but nowhere near as much as this went up, these two candles, or these 5 candles, 4 candles here went up. So this would not have given you that confluence of, okay, here's a good place to be looking to get in long with calls. You really would have had to set it up with the $8 price. So that would have been harder to do. I like this one where you're buying, after a hammer like this, you got the level here. It's making a very nice low. It's, as it's making the low around, between 750 and 8, it's making some higher lows through here. It does get back up here, comes back down, and you got two last chances to buy at like 8 here and here. At least it's making it's making higher lows, getting it back up to the 21 after already putting in a hammer here. So this is the most convincing that, you don't necessarily need to be buying this hammer. You look to buy the same level of this hammer on the call after the fact. And you still have, what is that? 30 something. How many candles is that? So the hammer comes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would be looking for, 30 minutes later, if it comes back in, like that's where you'd want to be buying it. Or, obviously you could have missed it, but if it's still at the same level, it's like, this is still holding. This is really weird. I'll get in, risk that R, and even just to scalp it, it's like, okay, it could have moved against you, could have put in another hammer and bounced, didn't do that. But yeah, some really nice candles on the call, a really good level on the stock. But then also just looking at how this compares, to Monday, and putting in kind of a double bottom here. And I'm not calling this the neckline retest of this. Obviously, that didn't really put in a clean retest. But just the fact that you've got some higher lows coming in here. You got a low, higher low. Here's a higher low off of this level. And these levels came in from what I had drawn in earlier this week. So I think I had just drawn this one in on Thursday and lined it up with the lows here, saying, well, we're already below this, but I think I talked about it possibly coming back up. And then this level has been really, really nice price point right into the high of this open candle from Monday. And we came into it here, came through it a little bit here, came into it here, looked like we were bouncing, and then pulled through and went lower on Thursday. And here we are right back at the level. So that's where we're at. And I really don't have any idea where it's going next. So we will have to kind of wait and see. But there's clearly some resistance right ahead. We're still in this, kind of sideways zone here. It's moved quite a bit. So, buying off of these levels down here and selling when it gets back up, into 31.25 area, that's worked. So this, like I said, for Thursday, this inverted head and shoulders looks broken. So I really want to see how this kind of plays out. If we can go sideways a little bit more, we've got the momentum that is, the histogram is shifting from bearish to bullish. You've got the squeeze starting to form, so things are going sideways enough that it's consolidated. And there's a chance we can get a bigger move. I would really like to see another retest back up to this gap and actually close this gap. That's what I was talking about with the inverted head and shoulders, but I don't know if it has the strength to get up there. This was very clearly a retest into about halfway of the candle from Thursday, right back into this low from this big bullish engulfing candle, and maybe that's the only level we get back into, and then we roll over from here. So if we roll over, I think we're going back into 29.30 or even lower than that. So we'll see if we can get some movement tomorrow, Monday, since I'm doing this on a Sunday. All right, hope this helps. This is Jess Amazon. Thanks.